What's going on? Dan again here with SARGE 2.0. Just want to do another little update. It's been a couple weeks again, but things have been getting done like usual. So let's cover that stuff. All right, so what's been going on at the shop here? The truck looks like it's been on the road, doesn't it? Well, it has. I got the exhaust done, and that turned out amazing. Basically, I'm using my same not the same ones, but advanced adapters, V8 swap headers, which is what me, Brian Racy, John Parks, and Brad Kumler all use. They are definitely the best option. Super low profile, they bolt in perfectly, give you a lot of space. So I'm using those headers again. And then I had my local exhaust guy do a custom exhaust. He's done a few exhaust systems for me now. So basically he did a custom Y pipe from each header down past the transmission, and then it Y's in right before that new transmission mount I made, and then comes out to a single. I have V-bands at each header and from the Y pipe out, so I can easily take the headers out and the Y pipe with just 3 nuts basically, which is cool because I already took all that stuff off because the other local guy here who does all the powder coating and ceramic coating is actually doing a batch of ceramic headers this week. So I already pulled the headers off, and that Y pipe I'm going to have all 3 ceramic coated. For heat, keep the heat down, and also, rust and corrosion and all that stuff. So that's what's going on with that, and I will put a insert of what the exhaust sounds like here soon, or after this clip here. I wanted it a lot quieter than what SARGE 1.0, the Bronco, was. Sounded awesome, I loved it, but it got very obnoxious and loud when you're out on the trail, idling around and climbing obstacles. I mean, it sounds good, but it's too much. So I opted to go with a Dynamax Super Turbo Muffler, single in, single out to a single pipe. I can at least show you that part. So it's all 2.5 inch, all the way from the headers back. Everything's been totally clearance for all the 4-link suspension travel. As soon as I got back from the shop, I spent probably almost 2.5 hours taking all the coils off and cycling all the suspension to be 100% that there would be no hitting of the exhaust throughout all the suspension travel and flex. So that's all set. What else is going on here? On my back tower brace here, I welded on 2 little plates, and it's hard to tell, but there are some reservoir radius holders on there. I only had zip ties to temporarily hold them in place for now. But that's where they're going to be mounted permanently. I still need to obviously take care of the openings. Oh, seats. So I made my decision to hold off on the vinyl flooring in most of the interior, mostly because of time, and then also here in Michigan, the temperatures have dropped a ton. So the vinyl flooring was in a box all folded up, and it's basically from the A-pillar to the C-pillar is one piece, and then there's a separate piece for the back, and they are creased and just super not flexible right now. So with the paint, I'm waiting till it gets warmer, and I'm also going to wait on the vinyl flooring This way I don't have to take all of the vinyl flooring back out when I do paint the door jambs and stuff to match. So for now, I'll just put down some towels and floor mats. Ain't gonna hurt it. But the seats are in, and the door pads are in on all 4 doors. So at least, you know, me, the wife, and the kids have an actual cockpit to sit in comfortably. Because in exactly a month, we will be doing that Snowway event in Grayling, Michigan with the club, Glass City Crawlers. So, everything's looking good. Also, I'm going to kind of wait. I have some ideas for the console to kind of finish it and bring the back out like a dovetail, I believe I talked about in another video. I'm going to do all these final touches down the road, you know, closer to probably April when it starts getting a little bit warmer. So, Brad Kumler with Riding Shotgun Adventures. You know, he's the guy that's been doing he's my buddy, obviously, but he's been the one responsible for all my wiring, and he did a awesome job. So he was over. We did some test drives up and down the roads to get the motor all timed and set up. He also does that stuff. And I'll tell you what, driving this thing with this new 4-speed overdrive 4R70W transmission is awesome. I didn't think I would really care or notice that much from the C4 I had in the past. But the gear ratios with these 538 gears and 40-inch tires just feel so good. I mean, I got plenty of torque in first gear, and then second and third is very smooth. Everything's so quiet and smooth. And then he did the wiring for me. So I'm running a reverse manual valve body from Silver Fox, and so the main transmission is you know, a clutchless manual basically. And then there's still electronic solenoids that you wire up for overdrive and torque converter lockup. And we tested that the other day. I think it was what, Friday or Saturday. Got the truck up to 65, super smooth. It was hard to pay. You know, the truck's a little squirrely. I haven't finally tuned everything as far as toe and alignment at that point. But hit 65, overdrive, torque converter lockup. I think I was at just over 1,800 RPMs at 65 with torque converter, with overdrive and torque converter lockup on. That's awesome. With the C4 at 55, I was like at 3,000 RPMs. So this is just awesome. I really am glad I went this route with the transmission. So super happy with that. What else have I been doing? Started putting the lights on. I got my cowl lights. The brackets are from a guy on Facebook. I found an Explorer group. What's his thing? Brian's Built Fabrication. I'll check that out, or figure that out and put it down in the description. What exactly his name is, I forget. My bad. So those are sweet. These are some rigid pods I've had for, I don't know, 4 years plus now. I went and got the amber clip-on lenses because we're going to be doing some snow wheeling and stuff here. And amber is the way to go after watching a lot of videos. It just really brightens up the snow, and you can see better than the white light reflecting from the snow. Front and rear bumpers are on and painted. Something else Brad helped me out with. Just used a simple, sprayer that he had with the air compressor setup that we have here at the barn. And this is just Tractor Supply Tractor Implement low gloss black. So that's the front. And then the rear. Good enough for a trail truck. It turned out really good. So the bumpers are on, and I got the winch placed on it yesterday. I had a little bit of a knot, or not a knot, but my synthetic rope had a bind in it, so I pulled that off yesterday. Got my front camera mount wiring ready to go. This is the wiring for the lights I'm going to put on the bumper here. Got a second set of pod lights, which are also amber, or these are true amber. So those are going to work out awesome. And then I also completed yesterday or the day before. Let's see if I got a flash here. I can't turn it on. My front shock hoop crossbar. So it's welded to both hoops. And then it's hard to see because I kind of finished ground everything to make it look good. There's a TMR. You can barely see it. There's the screws. There's a TMR tubing coupler here and here, so the center section is removable in case the motor ever needs to be pulled out, which at this point it really shouldn't be. Shouldn't have to be, I mean. Just gotta throw the winch wires on, cut them down, solder the tips, put those in. I got a spot on the positive and negative to put both those wires. The air intake almost didn't fit. I didn't really take into account that when I was doing the tower, but it does fit. Down the road I can get a little bit different bend for that. No big deal. Let's see what else. So the barn's a little tight right now because it's actually my dad's barn, so now that it's snowing in wintertime, he wanted his Honda in the barn, and then my tow rig, family camping rig, excursions in here now too, because my wife's having a major back surgery this morning. Just got back from dropping her off, so she's doing that. She's not allowed to have anyone there with her because of all this COVID stuff, so it's kind of rough knowing that she's going to go through this huge back surgery, and no one can be there with her. So saying that is I'm going to be home with the kids for the next probably 3 weeks, pretty much full time while she's recovering. So I'm not really going to be in the barn doing much for a little bit. No big deal though. The truck is pretty much ready to go for the snow event. Like I said, all these little fine touches and stuff I don't need to have done to drive the truck. So I just got to get my lights on, a couple things hooked up, and be good to go. So I will insert clips and video, or clips and pictures of the exhaust, and I don't think we got anything of us driving it because we were too concerned with me driving it for the first time and getting a feel for it, and then listening for this and that. So stay tuned. More to come. Like I said, starting next month, there's going to start being some wheeling videos finally. I just cannot wait. I obviously don't have my rock sliders on or any skid plates yet, which I don't really need for the snow wheeling trip. But that's to start coming after this trip because I need to get that stuff on before I can do anything else too crazy. All right, so that's the update. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with more stuff. Forgot to mention that we also, Brad and I, got the headliner. Well, I got it all stripped down and cleaned up, and that thing was rough. You know, they always say a southern car is better to buy because there's no rust on it. Well, that's true, but also 30 years of sitting in super hot temperatures makes materials and plastics very brittle and just turn to dust. So I didn't have a ton of that headliner to work with, the pad. So we did a little bit of fiberglass repair in about 6 spots, and then everything turned out really good, and glued it down with new material, and it turned out pretty nice for what it is. So I'll include videos of that as well. So, all right, see you guys on the next one.
Sarge is back from the exhaust shop. Dynamax, turbo muffler, 2.5 inch, custom Y pipe.
Well, I think it turned out pretty damn good.